Welcome back, everybody, to the Off the Clock podcast. We have officially punched the clock. We are off the clock. The hurricane has came and passed and eaten 2 of our episode slots. We are down 1 Corey, but we are plus 2 amazing guests. Yay. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves? Ariadne, you can go first.
Oh, okay. My name is Ariadne. I am the co-vice president of AMA.
Nice to meet you. I'm Lindsey. I'm the co-president of AMA.
Yes.
Yeah, so we got some pretty awesome guests and
High
awesome...
profile.
High profile. You guys are arguably the most high-profile guests that we've had on.
We're his boss.
It's true. I have to answer to you guys.
We can't fire him after this.
Yeah. So if this is bad,
exactly.
Like, I really got to be on my best behavior.
Fault, to be
yeah,
honest.
that's true. We get no views.
We have to like push it. We're gonna be like, everybody has to watch this one.
No,
like,
I'm gonna plug this. I'm gonna put this on Twitter.
Okay. Bringing in the Twitter.
No.
I mean, hey, you're 50 followers. Listen, if half of them
only
convert,
have 50?
I don't know. I
have
like
like 70.
Okay.
Something. No, but this is my 3rd Twitter in, so like we have to. I'm not gonna talk about
Okay.
that.
Okay. But one of the main topics that I wanted to talk about was you guys are both in leadership positions. You're the president. You're the vice president, co-vice president.
Sure.
So, how did you get to these positions in AMA?
Oh, bro, I don't even. Ariadne, would you like to go first?
Do you want me to say mine?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before I even thought of like going into VP, I kind of more so was in between consultable director and VP. And consultable director is crazy. Like that position is really time intensive. Gile did an amazing job in that. Like it was, I don't know, there was a lot of pressure in that. So I was very nervous to fill that. And so that's why I was like, what if I go towards VP? Because Lindsey kind of sold that position when she was like explaining it to us. And I was leaving another organization that I was in. And so I was like, I kind of should go up a little bit instead of sticking to a smaller position, that sounds terrible.
Sounds fine.
But, you know, like if I was VP in another position. So I was like, okay, well, I should go up a little bit. And then, so I met with Lindsey and we had a conversation about it, like what VP does, all of that kind of thing.
What does VP do?
No, what don't we do? Anyways, don't question me on that right now. But yeah, we had a good conversation, and actually, Lindsey was pushing me to consultable. Yes, you
don't
were.
Remember?
No, you were. The first meeting we had, you pushed me a little bit more towards consultable. So then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take consultable. But then you asked me for another meeting, like the day before I was supposed to decide or something.
Oh, well, because I remember like our first meeting, you were like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, do what you want. And it sounded like you wanted to do consultable more. So I was like, okay, then do that.
I think it sounded like I was scared of consultable more. And so you were like, don't be scared of it. Like you'll learn more in that position, etc. And then the second meeting, she asked me for a meeting. I was like, oh, like, okay, like, I guess she's gonna ask me like what I want.
You're
and
fired.
Then no, she was like, okay, I really want you for VP. She kind of...
You got recruited, bro.
Yeah.
You got scouted.
Under pressure, and I was like, oh, I was literally like shocked. I didn't know where that was gonna go.
Really?
Yeah. And then that day, I like talked to my friends, and I was like, I don't know what to do, but I'm probably gonna take VP anyways.
Hey.
And yeah, here we are.
Well, I'm glad that you did.
Now you're here. You're in this awesome podcast studio getting...
We would not be here today.
It's true.
Well, I don't think that's true. But yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome.
Yay.
Nico.
Dope.
For me, it was kind of like crazy because I was in an assistant director position when I moved up to VP. So I remember Chris, who was our co-president last semester. Yes. I was really good friends with her, and she was like, yo, AMA in the future is looking bleak because we don't have anybody like young who's in leadership. And I was like, I'm young, right?
You could be a leader.
Literally. So then I was like, I might as well like try and apply for VP because I had a lot of ideas. So what I did was I met with Dr. Jarrett, and I was like, this is all the things that I think AMA can improve upon. And she was like, true. And she gave me some ideas too. And I was like, wow, this was really great. And then I had to interview for VP because they were really tossed up about who they were going to do. They didn't have anyone to like, because typically we just appoint people. So they were like, So I interviewed for it amongst like a good group of people. So I was very shocked when I like was like, they were like, yeah, Lindsey. And I was like, no way, right? So I basically just went in there. I said, like, this is all the things I think we could improve upon. And then they were like, okay, like, you killed that, right?
There you go.
And it was actually Brianna, who was our co-president last semester as well, and then Teju, who was our co-president a year ago, and she graduated last year. So it was them two, and then Chris was also in that interview. And I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be scary. Like, I know these people. So it was just really nice. And they ended up just being like, yo, okay, yeah, be VP.
Yo, okay, yeah.
There you go.
Okay, that was in the email, yo.
Yeah.
So,
Yo, VP, and then
yeah.
end email.
It kind of just, like, I feel like I more stumbled into it because I, like, knew I wanted to move up in leadership, and I was, again, thinking of doing case. Like, I wanted to be, because I was assistant director of case. So I was like, oh, I want to be director of case, right? But Isabella at the time was still in that position, and I was like, well, I don't know what to do because, like, I feel like I've learned everything in my AD position, and I want to move up. So I kind of more got entrusted with it, which I appreciate, and I feel was a good choice on their part. But I don't know. It was more of like I kind of stumbled into it because I was like, oh, maybe I could actually get it, and then I did. So I don't know.
I mean,
It was
hey,
a little uncalculated. I'm not gonna lie.
But
No,
you made
but
it to the top.
you were super iconic as a VP.
Thank you.
Like I think we talked about it a lot. Like we were like, Lindsey's so funny, and like you were just, I don't know, you kind of made the GPMs really fun.
Aww. Thanks.
That's awesome.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
That's dope. So I've always thought about like moving up in sort of organizations. I think I usually have the personality to where like people will try to move me up the line even if I don't want to. In a couple other like organizations that I've ran and a couple other clubs that I was a part of, specifically like in high school, I was a part of this sketch comedy group on the Brink. We were funny. We made $1,000 and we donated it all to charity.
Okay.
So
all right.
if
respectable.
yeah, exactly. But like I ended up becoming like co-president by my senior year just through like being focused on a lot of the same things that you were, like seeing the things that were existing within the club and then trying to improve them. But also when you get to that top level and you become like a president or vice president or anything like that, there are a lot of struggles in terms of
So true.
people management in particular.
Yeah.
It's like one of the things is logistically, like I run this podcast. Everyone else on my team is not here because of the hurricane.
Right.
So adapting to these scenarios is kind of hard. What are some like challenging things that you guys have had to like adapt to in your leadership positions?
Goodness. I feel like this is an interview. Like
I don't know.
Hey, speak off the top.
I don't know. I guess I could go because I
Yeah.
feel like I deal with people
A little
in
more.
co-president. I deal with people so much more than I did when I was in VP. So I just feel like being understanding is a really important like first thing because, again, with the hurricane, that's stuff people can't really help. So you don't want to be like, well, that's too bad. You have to be here.
That
right?
sucks.
Like if I was in a position under someone and they were forcing me to come to a meeting that I couldn't make it to because like my house was gone, I'd be like,
That's crazy.
like I would quit. Like
No,
I'd be like,
yeah.
this
Yeah.
is
Absolutely.
terrible. So I think being understanding of people is like really important and having compassion because then that will kind of like push you into like what decisions are more important for that. But also being like sticking to your guns a little bit. So if you know people are being lacking on like let's say attendance or something, you know, if it's something that you've put into place and you're saying like this is a necessity for this position, then enforcing it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of finding the balance. Like if it's a reasonable excuse, then obviously, you know, take your time because people are people, but it's also a job and it's a commitment that you made. So if you can't uphold that commitment, then, you know, we need to figure something else out.
I super agree. I think this is one of the things that I learned from working at a summer camp for a few different summers and dealing with like I was basically the boss of these 10 to 13 year olds who they're all teenagers, preteens. They don't want to listen to a thing you say.
Yeah.
And it's like since I was 18 one summer and I was 19 the other summer. It's like I'm not old enough comparatively to them to where
Right.
I'm like a full authority figure. And it's the same thing with a lot of like these positions where it's like you're sort of in control of other college students who are your same age.
And I'm like younger than a lot of people.
Yeah, you are. You're surprisingly young. Not everyone believes me when I'm like, yeah, you're like 20 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you recently turned 20.
In March.
I know, but like last semester we were like, oh my God, she's 19.
But so is Emily.
Yeah.
She's 19.
Our other
Emily,
president.
Yeah, I forgot who I was talking
nuts.
to, and they were like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That Emily, I think it was you.
Yeah.
That Emily's like 19.
That's nuts.
That's wild.
Yeah, you just gotta act.
You act tough,
Yeah.
so you don't gotta get tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's real. But one of the things with like going back to what I was talking about with the kids, it's hard balancing between like on one hand I want to be like the cool older brother where they're
Right.
like, oh, I can go to Alex and he's gonna like do the fun activities and things. But also like if they're fooling around and fighting each other or not listening to what you say, sometimes you have to put the foot down and be like, yo, we gotta cut this out. Stop the nonsense. Lock
get
in.
you.
Go to your room.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know what you do.
I wish I could send them to my. I wish I could send them to their room.
Go to your bunk bed.
Exactly.
I don't know how summer camps work anymore. I've only read about them. I never went to one.
You never went to a summer camp?
No.
I went to a summer camp like twice, but I was
was
like
that?
15. It was fun. It was a church camp, and
Oh, okay. That's
okay,
a different realm.
but
Shout out JC.
people would bring their like they would bring like weed and like drugs. I'm
Oh.
like, how are you
Oh
at
my
a
gosh.
church camp?
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like
That's-
their Bibles. I was like, I mean, I would assume so.
yeah.
That's so
there were
unprofessional.
Bibles, but then there were also like things that you're like, how are you at a church camp right now with this? Like how are
They're
you have
probably
your
forced to
jewel
go.
like at the
Like
What?
their parents probably forced them to go to summer camp.
That's true.
Yeah, so they're like rebels or whatever.
I
They
was
were
there,
like,
I was like,
no,
this is
I don't
great.
believe in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of those cases, at least at my camp, where it's like the parents were sort of sending them there because
Yeah.
it was like, you're not going to be in the house all day, even though you can like stay and take care of yourself. You need to socialize.
Yeah.
So it's just like, well,
No, I had the decision I had the choice to stay at home all summer.
How was that?
Well, here I am now, introverted as ever.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just sat at home listening to One Direction. R.I.P. Liam Payne.
Don't do this right now. R.I.P. Liam Payne. But also, I don't support some current things he had done.
He was an abuser before he died, but also he did
Yeah,
die.
did you not hear
he
about
was
that?
literally like
No, I
right
don't
before
really
he
care.
died,
Like-
he was embroiled in like a big scandal over being abusive towards one of his ex-girlfriends.
Yeah. And like this is the thing though. What I'm mourning is my childhood. Like I liked One Direction since I was 8. And that has continued. So my childhood is like what's mourning. Like young Liam Payne,
Yeah,
seeing him in
okay.
edits on TikTok is crazy. But I'm not mourning current Liam Payne, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he died and he died young and he had like a lot of issues. And like I think we can kind of separate that a little bit. But also you also have to accept what he did.
Yeah.
And I don't think people are talking about that. I think people are blaming his girlfriend or his partner at
ex?
the time. Yeah.
Bruh.
Which is absolutely insane that she's getting hate for that. Like that's wild.
It always happens. The delusional
yeah.
stands.
Yeah.
They come and they attack the rabid.
I don't think Liam has stands, but he might a little bit, I
think
guess.
there's gotta be somebody.
It's like a subsect of like the One Direction fans,
yeah,
I
I
think.
guess. Yeah. But yeah, it's wild. I don't know what we were talking about before this.
Summer camp, things that we were doing with our time, and just like the general perils of being in a managerial position.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you deal with people way more than me.
I mean, you still have to deal with people.
Yeah.
though.
I deal with like 2 committees. And I think what was difficult for me was that one of my committees had no director. And
Yeah.
so that was it's consultable director, which is a position that has a lot to do, and I didn't want to do it. So I had to end up kind of doing it, but not really. Like the good thing with that position is that you can kind of, like, I don't know, especially at the beginning of the semester, the clients we were working with, they weren't asking for too much, and we were kind of going back into like signing contracts and stuff that we have to do. So it wasn't too much to deal with. And Lucy, who's consultable director right now, she's doing an amazing job. Like she's really eating that up.
Slay Queen.
Love her. And she's taken a lot of initiative, so that's really become easier. But I think sometimes I get lost on like, I don't know if I should be doing more over them, or if I like, because with consultable I was like worried that I was gonna do too much, and so that's why I've kind of backed up a lot and like let her take initiative because she has it. And so she's been doing a lot, and I'm kind of helping her with like stuff that's really confusing, like contracts. But like sometimes I get really lost, like with ProDev. Sometimes I have no idea what's going on, and I don't know if I should be more in that or not. Like I know updates and stuff like that, like that's VP, but I don't know. Sometimes I get really like, oh, I'm not doing enough, but also I'm not the director, so I don't know how much I should be doing.
Right. Well, my advice with that is like it's important to find a balance. Like you should know at least what's going on.
Yeah.
I feel like Case is kind of like the best example I could give you that is like on par with ProDev. Because Case, I trust Jacinia to just do it, but I'm always there like if they need help.
Yeah.
But I don't want to like hover because then it's like then it's just my committee.
Exactly.
And it's not
True.
my committee.
Exactly.
It's Jacinia's committee.
Yeah.
So I think finding the balance of like being there to help them, but also like letting them kind of do their own thing. But you want to make sure like their own thing is within the range of what we want. So like as long as they're not like hiring like a child to speak, you're probably fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if they want to, you know, have someone who is talking a little bit more about sales because they want to, you know, get that diversity of marketing in there,
Yeah.
then sure. So I think as long as you know what's going on and you're making sure that it's sticking within like the mission statement of AMA and like what our chapter plan is and stuff, but also letting her kind of do her own thing.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're totally fine. You don't you don't know Marcelo, but you know Marcelo.
Yeah.
Me and Marcelo were talking about this.
Friend of the pod.
Was he on the podcast ever?
I don't
I
know.
don't
He might have
know.
been. He might have been a former friend
I've
of the pod.
watched like one
I don't
episode.
think so. He wasn't like important.
I mean, I've watched
RIP Emma and
all
Eric,
the-
Fly High.
Yeah.
You were on the podcast before, right? You worked on the podcast
I did the
before.
sound.
I've watched all of the podcasts actually.
Ooh.
Really?
What's your favorite episode?
Yoon's episode.
Ah,
That was a pretty
I
good.
did. That was pretty
one.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rip Yoon.
Oh my god, I didn't think about that. No, Yoon's doing great.
Yeah, she looks so happy.
She
When I
is.
saw her, I was like,
She's
I'm
so
glad.
happy.
That's good. That's good.
But Marcelo and I were talking about, and he was like, I was like, you know, sometimes I felt like I wasn't doing enough. I feel like I had this conversation with you
I think so.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I don't feel like I do anything because like Emily's always planning something crazy like regional conference or marketing week or scramble or whatever, and I'm just here trying to like, you know that picture of like the man like holding the rope
Yeah.
and like people are walking over him or something. I don't even know if that
You
exists.
aren't giving yourself enough credit.
That's the thing. I think I wasn't. So I
are.
think that you're also probably doing the same thing. Like, that's the thing though. Being a good leader is holding yourself and having availability to put out fires, right? So making sure that you have the like capacity in your brain to help if it's needed or to put out a fire if it's needed. You don't have to be doing the work for your directors. That is not necessary at all, and that's not your job. Your job is to be there, make sure it's running smoothly, and if help is needed, help, right?
Yeah.
But what Marcelo said was he was like, you know, all the like the really like successful leaders, they are trying to do as little as possible. Like they don't want to do anything. And I was like, so true. Like I never want to do anything, right? And I try to do as little as possible. But then I end up doing so much because I'm handling what's actually my job. So if I just decided like, oh, I'm going to start planning the speakers because I don't think that whoever's doing a good job, that's not my job.
Yeah.
And that's going to give me more work than I need to do. And
That's
I'm not
true.
going to be able to do my actual job of being president.
Yep.
So don't undersell yourself because you need to hold out for what your actual job is.
You need to save your energy for where it's needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with a lot of that. Like, I think part of your job in any sort of like managerial position or boss position, or if you have people underneath you, is there's a level of trust you have to have that they're going to do their job competently.
Yeah.
And like, you set them up to where if they need help or guidance, they can do that. But like, also, separate point, it's so, I definitely feel the struggle of like, I want to be doing everything within my little subset. Like right now for podcasts, I do the editing for, I do like most of the post-production stuff. We have one person doing clips for social media, and then we have, you know, I got a co-host obviously normally and person recording audio, but like usually I try to take on more instead of less if I can. And like breaking that sort of, part of it I feel like is an ego thing with a lot of like director types where it's like, oh
yeah.
I'm the only person who can do this, right? You know? And it's hard to overcome that like sort of need to have a finger in every pie.
Yeah. Dude, especially in AMA, because the whole reason for AMA is that people can learn. So
Yeah.
like we're obviously gonna mess up, right? So it's for me, that's my hardest part, is because I know some of these people don't know what they're doing or they're gonna mess up. But I guide them as best as I can so that they don't mess up. And if they do, then I want to be a person that they can come to be like, I did a bad, right? So that we can help fix it and then be able to help fix it for them, you know? So it's like try and set them up for success. If it doesn't happen, be someone that they can go to fix the situation. Because that's kind of the job we're in right now. I feel like it's... Now, I'm about to say something. I feel like being a president of AMA is harder because you have to flip... I don't know. You have to like find the medium of like, okay, people are going to mess up and I'm not just going to like outright... I can't fire them because I'm not paying them to do anything, right?
Yeah.
I see, yeah.
So I have to help them as best as I can. And then if they continue to mess up or they're not doing their job out of like another reason, then like, okay, maybe I have to, you know, say something. But it's like...
There's a level of slack you have to afford.
Yeah.
It's like a student organization.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like we also have so many e-board members is like genuinely if we were paying people and this was like their main priority... We
need
could
a lot
have
less people.
Yeah, we could have like 10 people running this.
But this is free work.
Yeah. So it's just like it's really like not how a normal business would function and how like leadership in a normal business would function.
Yeah.
Because you have to find that like medium of okay, people are doing school, people are doing internships, people are doing work, people are doing AMA, they're doing AAF, they're doing all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're not the main priority, so how do we make it so that we could fit into their schedules?
Yeah, no, I literally dropped VP and AAF for this because
Yeah,
it would have been too much work. I would have cried a lot.
Yeah.
I feel that.
No, it would have been way too much
But it's
work.
a mature decision to like take a step
because
back.
I am not a super creative person. AAF is so creative, and I recommend it to anyone.
What
who
is AAF again?
The American Advertising Federation. Because we just recently switched to being a chapter, like I think a year ago now, and so we used to be just advertising club.
Okay.
So then we switched to a chapter, and that kind of became a little more serious, and a lot of work was put into that. And I am not a super creative person. I don't want to do graphic design. I don't want to do any of those, like that kind of creativity. And I saw myself more in marketing. And so I already kind of had a bias towards AMA. I was leaning more. But then also I realized I'm not putting that much work into AAF. Like I'm not really passionate about it, and they deserve someone who was passionate and putting in like extra hours and all that kind of stuff, and I wasn't doing that. So yeah, I do think that it was the best decision for me, and I'm happy with that. But the team they have right now is really good. They're all super passionate about it, and that's really nice to see.
Yeah.
That's good.
Join AAF.
Yes.
And AMA.
And AMA, do
And
both at
both,
the same
both.
time.
Do AMA first.
You can be a member of both. That's pretty easy.
Be a
Being
member of both, but like do work
Do
for us.
Yeah.
more AMA stuff.
Do more
Especially-
work.
Hey, freshman watching?
It-
Just saying.
do we have a large freshman
I
audience?
don't think we have a large
No, I don't think they know
audience,
this exists.
period. Low key.
That's okay.
But
We're
you
gonna
know
bring
what?
them in. We're gonna bring them in.
We're working on it. We're working
That's
on
what we're here for.
stepping up our branding.
Wait, I want to
Yeah.
touch on. You said ego.
Yes.
I know you have a Leo placement. What are your 3 pick? Because that's why he has a big ego.
I got
He has a
a
Leo placement.
Oh,
It's
boy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I can talk about that
also,
all
my
the time.
my dad is a Gemini, and I'm also
Let
have
me
a
open
Gemini.
my co-star
Gemini second one. It's my big 3 are Libra, Gemini, Leo. In that order.
Yeah.
I don't. Here
Which
I
it was, my, it
Beware.
was my birthday
I
recently.
don't really know.
Shout out to the Hurricane
what's-
for cooking
This is
me
true.
on my
Wait.
birthday.
What am I looking at?
I'm as co-star.
Oh, so you're a Cancer rising, Leo moon. See, Leo placements. I think
Wait.
But do I have a
yo.
big
leaders. No, I don't think you do. But
I don't think you have an ego.
I think everyone has a little bit of an ego.
I think you're confident. I don't think you have an ego.
Exactly. I think you're confident, and I think that's where the Leo comes in. Because Leo, it either goes
guys.
super big ego or pretty confident. Like it goes either way, or
Yeah.
both, which is crazy. Yoon.
But that's what?
Yoon is a Leo sun. That's her main, and she's both. I love you, Yoon, but yes. And
We need more Leos on the podcast.
I don't.
I don't think we do.
But here's the thing. Like,
You're
I
an
don't
Aries.
think that I'm. Yeah, I am an Aries.
Oh, that's wild. I am a triple fire sign. I'm a Sagittarius sun, Sagittarius moon, and an Aries rising, which is also beware. Very terrible. I am aware of that.
Guys, I don't know what this means.
Okay.
I'm not super aware of the space racism.
We don't have to go through That's crazy.
Yeah.
We don't have to go super into it.
never heard that.
He says it all the time.
I do, because spacism, you know?
True.
It's important to think about.
Well, I want to say though, I don't feel like I'm a super confident person. Like I know, like now I'm confident in myself because of my like experiences. But like if you would have asked me like last year or something, like, hey, I'd be like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I still don't really know what I'm doing.
You know what I think you do though,
What?
which I think I also do, is that we are really anxious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
I was
we
gonna bring up
kind of
that,
have
yeah.
this thing where when in a high, like intense situation, you kind of start acting a little bit, even though you don't feel that way. You kind of
I do
dude,
so
it's like
bad.
a mental switch. I do it a lot. And like I was telling Alex, I'm super introverted, and he's like, that's crazy that you're introverted. I wouldn't have like assumed that. And I've been told that a lot actually recently, which is wild.
I get told
But
the same thing.
I'm very introverted. Like if you know me, you know that. But I have this like acting thing where if I'm in a situation where I know I need to speak or to make someone comfortable or something, I act super extroverted and I'm like making
Yeah.
conversation, like I'm very, and
I
I
do
think you
that.
do that.
I do that.
Because you have like a confident portrayal, even though you don't feel that way, you do have it.
I put on like a character. At
Yeah,
GBM.
Yeah.
I do
I'm
the
like-
same thing.
I need a name for my character because I'm I'm an animal at GBM. I don't know what
Big L.
happens.
You are so good at
Big L
GBMs.
making a big W.
So good at GBM.
And
It's
like
crazy.
EBM too. Like I'd never do that.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know what this is called, but I like realized it recently where
It's
I was like, I think I'm
mental
acting.
illness.
It might be.
on some level, it's like fronting and sort of, I don't know the specific verbiage. but-
Masking.
yeah, masking. There you
Okay.
go. It's a form of masking. Where it's like, I think personally with me, I do a similar thing where it's like, if I'm in a room at a party hanging out with like people, usually I won't be like, actively initiating conversation
me
with
either.
anybody most of the time, unless I feel that sometimes the vibe strikes a certain way where it's like, this is kind of lame. I need to spice it up. And then like I turn it up and start being super confident and like, oh hey, how you doing? Where you from? What's your name? Who do you know here? Oh my God, this is crazy. I think sort of like when GBM is happening or EBM is happening, you sort of turn up, even though usually you'd want to just sit in the corner and do your whatever thing.
Oh yeah, I don't like going up there and talking. Dude,
Well-
sometimes Emily, like, what we're supposed to do during GBMs is like switch, like go like every other slide, right? And sometimes she'll just do like 5 in a row,
Yep.
and I'm just like, you know what?
I
I'm
was
so happy.
she's
that
got
she's
it.
so
doing
happy you did that to
that.
me.
Yeah.
When I went up there, I didn't know the slides at all, I'm going to be honest. And you took over like majority of them, and I was like, thank God, Lindsey, because I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, it's not like we practice. You just like kind of understand that information after a little bit. And like I've probably been to like 10,000 GBMs.
Yeah, that makes
At
sense.
this point, I'm gonna do the math. I've been in AMA for 2 years.
Okay.
There's 16 weeks in a semester.
About 60.
Oh, wow. You're going in math.
Yeah,
You've been to
16
about 60
weeks
probably.
Oh, that's
times
crazy.
4. So,
I've
yeah.
been to, I
Damn,
don't know.
how'd you know that?
Well, we lost a hurricane one. I'm assuming we've lost hurricane ones before.
I've also
And also ICC week, or not ICC week.
yeah, I've probably been to a little under 60
yeah.
GBMs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, I
You
could
get used to
I could
it.
just do it in my head right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which contractually, by the way, we have to talk about this past week's GBM, where your boss was on, Natalia
Oh,
Levy.
yeah.
She was talking about branding for restaurants.
her.
She was a really, really interesting guest. The things that she was talking about like, so she runs a bunch of different restaurants in St. Pete, Clearwater,
Nope.
different areas.
Oh, wrong.
Sarasota.
Sarasota, my bad.
But they're opening a food hall in St.
Okay.
Pete.
My bad.
So
Okay, explain
bro
it because
is misinformed.
I'm misinformed. I was
fuckers.
hearing it wrong.
Yikes.
Explain a bit about what she does since you work for her.
So she's the founder of High Hospitality Group, which is a hospitality group based in Sarasota. They have 4 concepts and 5 restaurants in Sarasota: Palm Avenue Deli, Kojo, Barhana, and then 2 Speaks Clam Bars. And then they're opening a food hall in St. Pete called Central Park.
Fire.
And then they're also kind of a technology company because they own a technology. It's like a POS based thing called Cluck.
Yes.
Shut
And
up,
then-
Cluck.
Name.
Yeah, and
so
then
fun.
they
Cluck with a K?
have yes, Cluck with
Or
a K.
like this on camera.
And then kind of stemming from that, there's like a website manager. There's like so much stuff in that. There's a cup dispenser thing that they're making.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is really cool.
That's really sick.
she like touched on it, but when I heard about that, I was like, wow.
I love all the
There's so
like
much-
3D printing she did. That's
She does
so unique.
so much
It was
3D
so
printing.
cool.
Dude, I love her. she does so much 3D printing.
Mm-hmm.
She'll just bring stuff like to whenever we're going on a shoot or something. She'll like have something 3D printed.
Oh.
Like she had that bagel dispenser. She's printed the trophies for Scramble.
Yeah.
She loves her freaking 3D printer. Like if I had a 3D printer, I'd be printing.
I would
like
also
that
be
too.
doing
Yeah,
that.
dude, my roommate
fun.
had a 3D printer. Occasionally, like he made me this little like 3D printed like Squirtle, and I just keep it on my desk now.
I have a Bulbasaur.
He also made me Bulbasaur.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
a friend who also had one, and he made me like a Bulbasaur, and he made me a little frog with a gnome on top. I just liked frogs, and he was like, I found this pattern or whatever. But yeah, no, those are so fun. I
Dude,
love
engineering
friends.
dudes.
Yeah, yes.
They'll be keeping the 3D printers.
Shout
they
out
keep
to
that thing on them.
Ibrahim.
Dude,
I haven't spoken to him
USF
in
students
years.
have access to the 3D printers in the.
I think they do.
No
Yeah,
idea.
no.
I think if you're an engineering major, definitely.
Oh.
No, you can use them. Like any USF student can use them because
Oh.
my business capstone, he was like, "You guys should go try it."
Oh, I know if you go to the library, like the Orlando library, there's like
Girl,
there's okay. Well, I don't know about Tampa. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not local.
yeah,
like
let
that.
me drive an hour to print a
I'm-
frog.
There might be an
for 2
equivalent.
hours.
Orlando Library is good. Like you get if you sign up for whatever, you get free like crochet classes and free
Oh.
like 3D printing classes,
dang.
and they like can teach you how to cook. I don't know.
What?
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Dang,
That's kinda
kind of
sick.
I might
that's
be
a
hyping
crazy
it up too much.
library.
I know
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
a
of
nice
libraries
library.
are like just hubs for information now.
Yeah,
where it's like
yeah.
And I
they will
didn't
give you
even
so
know
many
they
services.
had those services
Dude,
at all.
you can like rent out like a baking pan at libraries.
That's
So
wild.
You have like a heart shaped baking pan.
Equipment,
You can just get
movies,
that.
video games,
Wow.
books, anything that you want. Like the library,
Support your local library.
we need to support our
Yes,
local libraries.
yes.
They don't get enough funding.
It's true.
Donate if you can.
It's
But
true.
also just like go. They give you free
Just
stuff.
get a card.
Just get a library card.
Just get a card.
It's free.
Just sign up.
You don't have to use it.
I
Prove
was
that
gonna
there's
turn
need.
into a library
And
ad.
you like for everyone who is kind of lazy and doesn't want to go to the library, if you get a card, you can like rent books online and just like if you're one of those
Right,
like
yeah.
iPad or Kindle readers or whatever. I'm an
Bro.
iPad.
iPad kid.
I find books on there that I want to read sometimes, and I'm like, it's literally right here. You find it, you rent it, boom, done.
Dude, I need to read some more audiobooks.
I suck at audiobooks
That's
because
listening.
I have an attention issue.
Mm.
We're not gonna
can't
touch
read.
that.
I got ADHD. I feel you.
I
Yeah.
don't know what I have. We're not gonna touch that one.
That's what we should do.
Diagnose me?
Yeah. I think you.
I have too much.
New segment of the pod. We diagnose everyone's mental health
If
illness.
we're a psychology group.
I was a
but-
psych major
Ooh.
for 2 years, and then I
Hit
switched
me.
to IPRA. Well, I
That's
switched to mass communications, and then
crazy.
IPRA like a semester after.
That's kind of a crazy like.
I would have done psych if I didn't do business.
Me too. What's
psych
up
is
with that?
really-
That's what marketing is. Though.
Yeah, because it's I'm taking buyer behavior right now, and it's literally
Yeah.
just like consumer based psychology.
Yeah, psych is
So-
really
That's
fun.
what marketing is.
And I think
Yeah.
everyone should take it as a minor minimum because I have it as a minor and I love it. And I think I took some super cool classes. But unless you're you're super motivated to continue that in your life, it's not a great major.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can't do much with it.
That's why I ended up switching. Or
that's
not
why I
even
switched.
switching, but it's why I
Like,
didn't do it in
yeah.
the first place. Because my mom has a psych degree, and she
Oh,
said
that's super sick.
she said don't get a psych degree.
Yeah.
So
I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life the first
Fair.
2 years. So I kind of still don't know.
yeah.
But we'll see.
Never too late though.
Never too late.
Never
yeah,
too
you're
late to figure it
young.
out.
It's fine.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know if I'm younger. I feel like
No,
I'm
you
a
are.
half
You
life.
were like what?
I
like
have a-
like 20.
I don't want
22?
to. I don't want. I'm 21. I
21?
haven't turned 22
Okay.
yet.
When's your birthday?
December
Right.
Okay, soon.
Right.
soon. But not yet. Don't put that on me.
Hmm.
I have an aging thing, guys. We talked about this.
I feel as you
good.
get older, that
Maybe
might
it'll change, but maybe it'll get worse.
I
Well,
hope
we don't know.
so. We'll see, I guess.
I think
Check up on me yearly.
things tend to get better before they get worse.
I'm not saying they're bad. I accept it.
You're
I
just
love that.
done. Like you're just not.
No, I love that idea
I
for me. Like I
understand.
think I'm gonna live my life
Hmm.
fully, and then boom, you know.
I feel like by
Hmm.
40, like I'm not gonna be functioning
Oh.
correctly anymore.
I feel like I don't
Like
function correctly
physically
now.
or like mentally?
Yeah, no, physically, because like
Physically?
I have bad legs already.
My
Oh,
knees.
you just reminded me to straighten my back.
Dude, no, I my posture check. Posture check.
Posture check.
My posture worse. My knees. When we went to ICC in New Orleans,
Yes.
I had taken up running like 2 weeks before that, and so I was running weekly, and I loved running. I was obsessed with it, and then. I don't know what the heck happened to my knees. Literally felt like they broke off. Like
yeah.
the New Orleans,
What?
I could like ask Emily, Erica, and Yoon. Those were my 3 roommates. They had to hear me complain about it every single day. It was the worst thing ever. I could not walk without being in the worst pain possible.
And that's like a 4-day conference,
Yes,
yeah?
yes.
yeah.
And so much walking.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so I had to walk in heels all freaking day,
Oh my
every day.
God.
And so it was like wild. And then when we would go explore, I wanted to Yeah. Oh, that was a neck crack. That was nice. That was good timing. But it was the worst pain ever. And then finally I had no pain medication, by the way.
Oh,
I'm very
jeez.
much like, I don't take pain medication unless I feel like I'm on my deathbed. So I took it on like the day before the banquet, or that day. I took pain medication and I put Tiger Balm on, and I felt brand new.
Yeah.
And like
Tiger Balm's crazy.
that was amazing. For like 2 hours, I felt no pain. After that, I felt worse pain, but that doesn't matter. That's gone. So I haven't taken running back up because my knees are bad.
No, I used to run like in middle school. I say that I tried for like a week, and then I was like, wow, my knee has never been worse, and it never recovered.
I don't know how to like. What do
Just
you do
don't.
with your knees?
No,
You can't just
get
not
on the
run.
elliptical, bro.
Okay, well, no, there has to be like. I know if you go to a PT or something, they can help you, but I don't want to do that.
I don't exercise anymore because I'm so terrified.
I'm
I think
scared.
it's worse. I know
think
it's worse.
little bit at a time, I think, is probably good.
Like
but-
I go up 3 flights of stairs to get to my apartment.
I mean, that's exercise.
Oh my god,
Size.
yeah, your elevator's broken. That's the worst
Oh,
thing ever.
Jesus.
Why
I
is it
never
still
use
broken?
it.
Oh.
Dude, I was on the 4th floor,
It
and
sucks.
my
They're on the
elevator was
4th
broken.
floor.
Oh my god. My
Why is your
was broken for a
elevator still
month.
broken?
It's probably got flooded. I don't know. They take
No,
a long
it was broken
time.
like 3 weeks before the hurricane.
really?
Like, that's crazy.
I think they just don't care.
Yeah,
They
low-key.
don't care.
Low key.
It kind of sucks. But
Dude, my elevator in my building was broken for a month straight, and I was the RA for the floor.
Oh.
And I had to deal with angry messages from all of my residents being like,
What are you gonna do about that?
Yeah.
Fix
What?
the elevator. And I said,
what
yeah,
do you?
Let me get my toolbox.
This
Yeah.
business major. Oh, let's put him in the elevator. What? What are you supposed to do
exactly.
with
I'm like, okay, but
that?
Yeah, you
The
should.
builder
That's
and
what you need to do. Just start pretending, like get a hammer and start hitting.
do my
it.
best Bob the Builder impression.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Fix
Be
it,
like,
Felix
guys,
type
I'm
stuff.
working on it. Like, do you
Put on
not see me
cutoffs.
working on
A
it?
little belt.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. That's a good Halloween costume.
Hey, there you go.
Halloween
What are you guys doing for Halloween?
I don't know.
What are you doing for Halloween?
I'm gonna like.
We can close on this.
Lindsay,
What are you guys doing for
no, we
Halloween?
gotta do something for Halloween.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm gonna be. I don't
I
have
have-
a holiday.
3 costumes.
Mm,
I have Patrick Bateman as my first one.
huge.
That's I'm doing it in the like men love American Psycho, but they
Let's
love
see
it for
Paul
the
Allen's
wrong
card.
reasons. They love it for the wrong reasons.
I'm Patrick Bateman.
Exactly. They really think like it's a great movie and that Patrick Bateman is a great person. Like I want my brother to watch it because I know he's gonna believe in that and it's gonna be a wild conversation. But
This is just
it's
like
satire, so it's like I'm doing it in the like, you know,
yeah, ha, ha,
satiric
ha.
way. Like it, you know, yeah. Anyways,
I haven't
it's gonna be
seen
cool.
It, so I have no idea.
I'd say,
Oh, you should watch it. It's
I'd say
great.
people. I wouldn't say men think he's a good person as much as they think he's cool. Like they think
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
that's
life.
what I mean.
Yeah,
It's
the
just
life
like
that
the
he's living is like.
Joker. You know how
yeah.
people are like, I'm the Joker. Like I'm the
No.
Joker.
People
Yeah.
say they're
Dude,
Batman.
Men, no, dude. Men will say, "Oh, I relate to the Joker," and I'm like,
Yeah, because like,
Go to
bro,
therapy.
bro, he sees what's wrong with society, bro, and
Yes.
like,
Oh.
why are we so
I
serious?
have to see
bro?
the side.
if a man ever says that,
Dude,
dude, run.
Okay.
Have you seen the I'm
Run.
Batman on every single dating app ever? Men love to
Yeah.
say they're Batman.
I've seen a lot of girls doing it too.
Yeah,
Batman?
I've seen women.
saying
but
I'm
that's
Batman,
different.
saying I'm Batman. Oh,
That's
yeah,
different.
I have
that's
never
just
seen a
girly
man
pop.
say that.
But and it's
Yeah.
funny because that's my second costume, Batgirl.
Batman.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
Batman.
Okay. I'm a girl. I can be
Sorry,
Batman,
damn.
Like
but
Barbara
no,
Gordon?
but like I'm gonna be like Batgirl
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
or Batwoman. I guess I should do because
There you go.
the terms of that costume.
Yes.
But and then my third one is a minion.
Mm.
That one's just for like a group
Beto,
costume kind of thing.
Beto,
And I have glasses, so
Beto.
it's like I don't have to wear goggles.
hello.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I respect that.
Hello.
Period.
What are you
That's
gonna
great.
be?
I am going to show my costume on the podcast. So
Oh.
I'm not gonna spoil
Reveal.
it, but for
A hint. Let them guess.
I'll say I'm going to be a villain,
Okay.
a superhero villain.
He's gonna be
A super-
Gru.
Megamind.
You should
I am going to
I
steal the moon. No.
love Megamind.
Megamind is so
That's
good.
my hear me out.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
Hear me
yeah,
outs are real. I have really good hear me
big
outs. I
freaking
think.
head. But you know,
I'm not gonna say one of my hear me outs.
I think
it's a controversial take.
I'll say we can talk about that when we get back on the clock. But last thing that
Oh,
we have
on
to
the
talk about
clock.
is our upcoming GBM that's going to be coming out. Or the GBM is going to be tomorrow,
we're
4:45.
releasing a GBM.
Yes. Our next GBM is going to be on the 22nd, 4:45 in BSN 225. We are going to have Eddie Martinez. He's going to be talking about web development and coding.
Yes.
Yes, it's
So we're
gonna
gonna
be
do
a
a
fun
little
little
workshop.
workshop. Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to workshops. And outside of that, the 24th, I believe we're doing our first Fat Beat Farm thing from 8:30 to
yeah.
10:30. And on that same day, in BSN 225, our normal room, on that same Thursday, from 12 to 2, we are having an SEO workshop.
Oh.
With Muriel Lise.
Oh, that's
yes.
true. Yeah.
Yes. So look forward to those things. We're also probably going to have some Bucks game signups. I'm going to the Bucks game versus the Ravens
isn't
because
it on Monday?
my dad is a crazy Ravens fan.
Crazy.
So I can't root for the home team this time. I'm rooting for the
Isn't
Ravens.
it like 4 to 11 p.m.?
I think it's late.
Like, that's
it's
wild.
like late, but I'm going to be there because I get to watch Lamar Jackson cook.
Whoever that is.
Quarterback for the Ravens.
Sure.
That's the game.
I don't like sports. I don't do sports. But Cole Preston plays tennis. I do like that.
I don't know.
Well, there you go. But okay. Thank you guys for coming. Very much appreciate you guys for being
no
on.
problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Thanks for watching the podcast.
yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.